What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Links, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. And it will be one week until the NFL starts next Thursday. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the NFL streets will officially be live next Friday. Looking forward to bringing that to you. It's going to be an awesome endeavor, and might have some fun stuff going with Lofty as well. You need to check out his videos on Wednesday. One of the sharpest NFL guys I know, that is for sure. But Bet365, one of the best sports books I know, because this deal's ridiculous. Bet 5, get 150 in bet credits. It's only in Pennsylvania. Hey, wouldn't you know? That's where Lofty's from. So Bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets, 50 spins as well. It's now officially live there, but also in states like Virginia and New Jersey and Iowa and Arizona and so many other great states. Take a look below if it's available in yours. Bet 5, get 150 in bet credits and 50 spins on the old virtual slot machine. Seems like a good offer to me. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But we were in the marketplace, and that was good stuff too. Ended up cashing some nice tickets on that Texas Rangers game. They got postponed out of the middle of nowhere. 4 pitches in, Garrett Crochet then gets ripped off, and it's Chris Flexen taking the ball for that beginning of the, well, it wasn't like a game one. It was a suspended game, followed by the second game of the day for the Rangers and White Sox. Corey Seager, though, an absolute goat. The double home runs felt really nice. Felt really good to cash those last week. And then for him, the 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs, that was a lock in the premium Discord. Yeah, the prop locks in the Discord have been awesome. You can sign up for that down below. We'll talk about it later. Lindy 50, but we got 11 games. I'm going to get flying for our producer Jacob and myself. Oh, baby, I'm ready for the weekend. Let's get to the picks. And I said that fully well knowing that it is not the weekend yet, but I'm just looking forward to it. Wanted it to be emphasized on this Thursday. We start our day off, though, in the morning in Detroit, where you probably don't want to be most mornings or days or ever, except for 8 Mile was a great movie. Josh Cockenow, which is not a good pitcher. Neither is this Montero fellow, and that's where this really comes down to. Kiner Montero, somebody with a 283 expected batting average, 345 xWOBA, 19.6% K rate. I really don't care how bad the pitcher is on the other side. That guy's going to be getting the ball for the majority of the day. It is so unbelievably difficult for me to do anything other than try to grab plus money with the dog. Now, there's a plus 142 at FanDuel. Everything else is like plus 130, plus 135. It's still in that range of like, I really don't want to put my money in play unless we get north of plus 145. We'll see if the public actually moves this. I'm not going to dispute them. I mean, Detroit has the better lineup day in, day out, but still looking at the Angels money line, and I'm little tempted in the game that doesn't really matter. And Kakinauchi, he's not that good by any means or any stretch of the imagination, like no strikeout stuff whatsoever, but throwing a sinker like 2/3 of the time and getting decent enough ground balls, 61.9% ground ball percentage would be ridiculous long-term. It's dog or pass. Next up, San Francisco and Milwaukee. We'll see if Gary Sanchez can get us a home run. Ended up on that plus 425. Didn't end up on the, Brent Rooker home run. And of course, he finally hit a home run. So that's fun. Ended up on Corey Seager in that second game to hit a home run at like plus 300 as well. But we'll see if that ends up panning out. For me, you don't care, though. We're talking about Thursday. And Hayden Birdsong, Aaron Savale. We're not doing anything with Savale whatsoever. Again, not one of those guys with strikeout stuff. Been okay at times. He does have straight up fly ball material, so that's cool. But Hayden Birdsong, let's focus in on him because he's going to give up some hard contact too. 9.7% barrel percentage. Doesn't get the protection of that hard hit. Yeah, 46% hard hit that he's given up so far. That's 90 plus mile an hour off the bat kind of stuff. That's hard hit, but almost half the time that's coming off the bat hard. There's going to be some Milwaukee guys, Adames, Gary Sanchez. These numbers are probably going to be pretty short on them, but I'm intrigued by Hayden Birdsong to get swing and miss as well. 27.6% K rate, probably a lot more righties than you would think in this lineup between Hoskins and Adames and Blake Perkins. The Ann Perkins joke, Parks and Recreation, that went over everybody's head. I don't even know how my brain just thought of that. I do miss that show. It was great. Hayden Birdsong up to like 7 Ks. That seems pretty good, right? We're going to be looking at a K ladder for him going up against Milwaukee. Probably gives up a bomb or two, but probably decent enough strikeout potential here. I'm going to look at it in the morning. If you're interested as well, if you're interested, I'm interested, but we're not really interested, but we're actually really interested. Now we're just going to play a game called Next Game. Texas and White Sox, there's so much information to parse through over the course of these two games. You didn't get Chad Kuhl, who's supposed to start. I think we end up getting in the middle of this game as I'm just watching it live here. We're in the fifth inning right now for Texas in Chicago. It's just been Leiter, who's been not lighting the world on fire. He was supposed to be the it child, and it's been pretty tough for him in the big leagues, but it goes from Foster to Peralta. We'll see if Touki Toussaint enters the game here, but Mr. Bush is who we're expecting here. Nathan Eovaldi on the other side. Nathan Eovaldi's the much better pitcher between the two, but does give up the hard contact from time to time. Probably doesn't matter considering it's the White Sox trying to hit the ball, but Ky Bush, man, 49.2% hard hit, 12.6% K rate, really porous stuff working through his pitch mix as well. Four-seamer over 50% of the time, and it's not a very good pitch, so fly ball contact. Yeah, even though Texas up against righties has not been the kind of back that we were looking for over the course of this season, I think they might be worth a back here on the run line. Sorry, Ky Bush being a lefty, but you know what I mean. There's going to be a lot more righties coming out of that pen. Well, I don't think Ky Bush is going to be long for this game. I have him projected for an inning and a half, like inning and 2/3, kind of just splitting the difference because he hasn't exceeded 2 innings yet so far this season. So why would we expect him to do it here? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Different guy. Ky Bush, 6 innings pitch. There we go. Whatever. This is a lean. We're not going to be betting this in any way, shape, or form purely because that run line is minus 152. It's just a ridiculous game. The White Sox, have you heard they've lost over 100 games? Did you also see how many people they had in the stands for that first part of that doubleheader? Whatever. Let's talk about something useful like Bet365. Very useful. A game I might actually want to bet. The next one up, if you guys want to take advantage of that, well, if you bet $5 on anything at the link below at Bet365, you'll get 150 in bonus bets and 50 spins on the old virtual slot machines. This is for the people in Pennsylvania. It's also available in Iowa and Arizona and New Jersey. And I list off all these states all the time, but truly check out if it's available in your state. Getting more not worldwide renowned. It's already worldwide renowned. A very reputable sports book out there in Europe and otherwise, but you can sign up down below. It's more in the States here now than you'd think. So take a look. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the bets. I promise we're going to get to some plays here, and we start now with probably my second favorite play on the board, if we're being honest. I really like Houston when we get to that one, which is weird because Kansas City was a wagon until they weren't. The wheels came off at the very end of that ball game. I'm still upset about that. Somebody really didn't like that Kansas City pick the other day. He wanted to DM me and let me know about it. My DMs, I should just post those. They're not as bad as Trent's, so it's okay. Michael King, Sonny Gray, as we look at the board for tomorrow, these are two very, 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 very good pitchers. And Michael King, coming off of his worst outing of the season, going up against the New York Mets. Well, New York Mets are kind of a sneaky naughty team from time to time. And once you know it, San Diego, St. Louis, playing this game at 2 o'clock, you're going to get a little bit warmer conditions, but Michael King, he continues to impress me. 3.14 ERA, 1.17 whip. And by the way, it wasn't even that bad of an outing. Only 1 earned run, but 5 runs allowed. There was an error in the middle of it. Some really bad batted ball luck for King. I think he'll be just fine. As for Sonny Gray, he has the misfortune of taking on a San Diego team that continues to put up runs, even in losses. I mean, it just seems like there are these times on the road where they get in these ballparks against righties and they just create havoc. And Sonny Gray does have a 10% barrel percentage, has that 420 expected slugging that freaks me out when you take on a San Diego team, top 3 in baseball against right-handed pitching in terms of WRC+, but 30.4% K rate for Sonny Gray. I think he'll have enough swing and miss to find couple of exit stage lefts for a couple of these Padres. I think the dugout's on the left side in St. Louis. Yeah, it is. I don't know. You never know because like the home dugout is Dodger Stadium, that side. For the Twins, it is opposite side. I'm just talking to myself. I like the under here. We like under 8. It's very good. It's very nice. Very good. So lean like. I bet it. You should probably bet it too. Miami and Colorado, Mr. Blatt, so Mr. Blaylock, what are we doing when these are the two pitchers on the mound and then you're looking at an 11.5 total in a game that starts a little bit earlier than normal that is going to ramp up the temperature and ramp up the variance? We're talking about a 3:10 Eastern time start time, so what, 1:10 local time, mountain time there? God. Let's work through Palazzo here a little bit. He's got a 4-seamer change. Cutter is the second primary pitch. Could probably just let them in order, but Volante Balanzo gives up crazy high contact. Only a 23.3% ground ball percentage, 33.6% fly ball rate. Oh boy, but Bradley Blaylock is just Bradley Blaylock. That's Bradley Blaylock. It sounds like a Brown graduate if I've ever heard one. Shout out Brown. I bet it's a great school. But yeah, the hedge fund boy Blaylock is going to be on the mound here. And he's been all right with the 3 ERA, 1.42 whip, but it's all of like 3 starts. It's been some good starts, though. 3 starts. Arizona, San Diego, New York. To walk away with like a 3 ERA that's pretty good. But you know what else is interesting about Blaylock? Only one of those starts came in Coors Field, which I'm going to say that it's not possible for him to go out and have another good outing. But I think as you accumulate sample size, some of his stuff, it's okay. Like, it looks all right. He's young, 23 years old, but he's the 24th ranked prospect. And despite that 3 ERA, 4.72 expected ERA, I haven't pulled the trigger on this one. So the last one, lean like, was pretty automatic to be betting that under of 8. This one's not as automatic. Over 11.5, I'm going to lean that direction, but man, is that a hefty number with 2 really bad offenses in play. But I remind you, it is Coors Field. Let's talk the Arizona Diamondbacks. Best record in baseball since the All-Star break. We'll see how they fare against the Mets here tonight. That game is 5 minutes from starting, so cool. David Peterson, Ryan Nelson, and Ryan Nelson has really found strikeout stuff. I already have 2 guys that I'm interested in K-ladders. I don't know if I could necessarily make it 3. Premium Discord, I'll let you know, obviously, whether or not I bet anything with Ryan Nelson. But we did back him successfully, 4.5 strikeouts last time out. Some of these numbers are just crazy to me, considering some of his strikeout changes that we've seen of late. I'm not a big, recency bias guy, but 9-2, a little bit lower against Kansas City, but then back to 9-7, 9-6, 7. And we had an opening number of 4.5 last time out. It was a little bit of an outlier. Very curious to see if we get a soft 5.5 plus 105. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. Let me pull my data up and I'll run something in the background as we're talking. But plus 105 is kind of where my brain goes towards. I'm a little bit off. You plus 112, but that's okay. That's okay. We can go that direction. Wanted to pay attention to Ryan Nelson and where that opening number is. That was kind of the main thing I wanted to bring up. Let's talk about David Peterson, because you get him out of New York. New York, concrete jungle, we're going to the desert. I'm not a good singer. David Peterson's terrible. 18.1% K rate, 353 xWOBA. And I know people are going to come knocking on my door and letting me know, Eric, look at his ERA, 2.85. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. No, he's one of the luckiest pitchers in baseball. 5.28 expected ERA, 10.2% barrel percentage, and now taking on one of the hottest offenses in baseball. A team that since the break has found ways to be effective now. Corbin Carroll going to have to be sent to the doldrums, 7-hole. It's kind of where he's been relegated to left on left, but still, some of these righties up at the top of the lineup, pretty intrigued at backing some of their props here in a ballpark in Chase Field that, yeah, the roof won't be open there, but you can still find some stuff. And Eugenio Suarez, 2+ bases and a home run. This is somebody that I haven't talked about at all, but against lefties, we're looking at Lourdes Gurriel, we're looking at Randall Grichuk, and then Eugenio Suarez, who I'm pretty sure is in that lineup, north of a 40% hard hit, but shout out his 20-degree launch angle. I think you know by now, launch angle matters for the home runs. So yeah, we're going to be looking 2+ bases and then the home run market, plus 130 or better on 2+ bases, and the home run looking for better than plus 395 in Chase Field. I think we get both of those. Don't really have a lot here. Oakland, Cincinnati. Ended up pulling the trigger on that Oakland game. It ended up shooting the frick out. I mean, my God, 9-6 ball game, but we get the dub. That was nice. So the guy who was mad about my Kansas City plus money losing, hopefully he bet Oklahoma at plus money and Oakland at plus money and found himself a dub, because, it's about making profit. It's not about hitting every play on the card. It's about making you money. Now, I want to hit every play on the card because it's on my card and I'm playing and putting my money at stake. And sometimes it doesn't feel very good when you lose money and you get yelled at on Twitter. But anywho, we're going to go to Cincinnati money line. Is just a lean here. This Ginn and Aguirre fellow. I mean, I feel like I'm being trolled with some of these pitchers, man. Working through their AAA stuff. Not impressed. Not really going to be playing with the variants of this one. Think it's going to be some bullpen madness. Need to figure out exactly how far either one of them are going to pitch. Because again, Ginn, or however you want to say it, has pitched a grand total. This was the guy I was thinking of earlier, by the way, when I was doing the whole thing. 3 2/3 innings in 2 appearances in the bigs. If he ends up getting the start, it's not going to be for long. Need to know who we will be piggybacking with. Charlie Morton and Christopher Sanchez, 4 kids, and I got to take all of that ass to showbiz. But we're looking at Christopher Sanchez with the ground ball rate, and it is once again hot, warm, humid there in Philadelphia. Jordan Alvarez would have been fun to call a triple dong for him. Wouldn't have that been fun? That would have been really fun. Also, those numbers are really short. But anyway, Charlie Morton, Christopher Sanchez. Want to look at the Morton side here because I do think there's one play that sticks out to me. It's probably not going to surprise a lot of people, and it'll seem very square, but I think it's actually positive EV, and that's expected value for the people keeping track at home. Charlie Morton, 10.3% barrel percentage, 334 xWOBA, but only a 8.4 degree average launch angle with a 24% K rate. This is kind of a weird spot for me because I do generally stay away when somebody's got a lot of strikeout stuff, and there's somebody who keeps the ball somewhat low on the profile. But I think Kyle Schwarber is a decent play for this and this alone. We're talking about pull weather where the wind's blowing out to right. And there are a lot of ways where I think, I'm not saying he's trying to do too much at the plate here lately. We haven't backed him in a while, but Kyle Schwarber, 15.5 degree launch angle, a little bit higher than most. In fact, the highest amongst all the main core starters there on Philadelphia. And if this wind direction is helping him out and he gets a pull swing on this, I think he's going to take it really, really far off of Charlie Morton with this hard contact profile. So a little bit strange to me that Kyle Schwarber is popping as much as what he is, but I have this better than plus 205 as a play. I think you definitely want to play it at these kind of numbers. I think we could be looking at plus 230 or 40 at open. And you give me 3 at-bats against Morton, taking 1 for a ride. Not saying that it's going to be a lock, because, again, you don't lock plus 200 home run plays even. But this is one of the higher on the models. Pretty bright red, pretty good spot. This is a good spot, too. 50% off using promo code Lindy50. If you guys want to get my daily picks and premium Discord and you want to know exactly when I bet something and have it sent directly to your phone with a notification, well, the OS app plus Lindy50 for my premium Discord and my daily picks is what you want to have in your life. You go to the link below, sign up using Lindy50, and that becomes $10 for a week, $24.95 for your first month. Great opportunity to truly see what I have behind the paywall, and hopefully you can DM me, you can ask me information, we can talk through the plays, and I can spend less of your time here and more of your time in that Discord because I want to start prioritizing my people. They deserve the most love, and obviously they got the Corey Seager lock from 2 days ago that ends up coming to fruition, on Wednesday. That was just a long sweat with our money there. But hey, man, I'm here to make you money. If you guys want to join in on the party, Lindy50 at the link below. Join the marketplace with me today. Back to the picks we go. 3 games left. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we talk Bowden Francis, who is going absolutely berserk. I mean, seriously, have you watched Bowden Francis and have you seen some of his numbers? Because he's doing some interesting things that I think are very, very apparent. He's starting to get massive punch-out potential. 7, 8, 7, 12. I am very curious to see where this one opens against Boston, where it's dangerous. This matchup, again, 9 total. You just saw them get mowed down by Chris Bassett until the very end of that 7th, 8th inning. You had Tyler O'Neill go yard, but interesting strikeout profile because I said this before with guys like O'Neill and Wilyer Abreu at the top of this lineup and some of the other pieces that have gotten back into the mix, specifically Tristan Casas. Strikeouts are going to be more abundant against Boston at the same time that Boston's going to probably knock the living pants off of some righties, but Bowden Francis is a guy that I do want to be backing. Also, I apologize to Cutter Crawford and his family. We're not going to talk a lot about him. This is basically all Bowden Francis. I'm looking at the K ladders. I know the 10% barrel percentage is freaky, only a 21% whip percentage, but there are very noticeable changes to his pitch mix. I think we're looking at a much better pitcher going forward. Bowden Francis, K ladder up to 8. God forbid if this opens at 6.5, I'm going to lose my mind. And my favorite spot on the card as of right now, it's actually a run line that's plus 146. What a time to be alive. But it was the first bet that I made. I've been backing Hunter Brown a lot. It really shouldn't confuse any of you who watch this program routinely, purely because Hunter Brown, after a sketchy, rough-ish start to the beginning of his season, let's be downright, just flat out call it what it is. The Texas spot and then at Kansas City spot, he got completely bludgeoned. But it inflated his ERA to a spot where, I don't know, people were slow on the comeback. I'm not sure that, ERA is the main dictator of how books lay a number or anything of that nature, but Hunter Brown and this Houston Astros team, As Hunter Brown has gotten better, Houston's gotten better. It's been a pretty crazy ascent. This team continues to string together wins in unsuspecting ways, but Hunter Brown has been the linchpin of the entire thing. 3.72 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. Not like crazy numbers by any means, but he's continuing to impress me as far as like, it hasn't even been like batted ball luck. It hasn't even been strand rate. It's been a lot of ground balls, starting to get those ground balls more and more into the profile, and then some swing and miss stuff. And Kansas City, this is obviously a team that's on the up and up until, Wednesday, running into a buzzsaw in those late innings. Michael Waka, maybe he should have pulled him before that 7th inning or whatever. Yeah, I think it was the 7th inning I was watching. But anywho, back to this one. Brady Singer on the mound here for Kansas City. And this guy, he's had some back and forth starts throughout the entire season. 432 expected slugging. Last season, 48.6% hard hit. He's improved that drastically to a 40% hard hit. But as I work through the numbers, I just don't see how we're getting this kind of a price, nearly plus 150 on the run line, considering one, Jordan Alvarez, he's back in our lives after missing the entire Baltimore series, basically. Triple Dog seemed pretty good there in Philadelphia, heading back to Houston, that's played pretty high up for homers there in Minute Maid as well. And then the second part of this, Kansas City coming back from Cleveland, having a doubleheader on Monday, playing the divisional games. I think this is a scary spot for them to walk into against Houston with a bullpen that's fully intact, coming off of a bludgeon to be invested. In fact, I'm going to put out on the front end Houston money line as a lean, because I think this is actually an appropriate parlay piece if you're trying to drop juice with another play that might be heavily juiced. You can go to the top of the Odd Chopper tools, or you can be in the picks Discord. You can combine this with something. So I'm going to call it Houston money line as a lean, but the play I made immediately, plus 148, Houston on the run line, plus 146 is its best available number here in the marketplace. I would be betting this anywhere better than plus 135. It is an awesome spot to put your money here against Brady Singer and company. Cade Povich and Bobby Miller, man. This guy's probably the most frustrating pitcher that I can remember in a long time. Definitely a long time, because Brian Bayo, who I thought was the most frustrating pitcher, had a phenomenal outing there on Wednesday. Of course, I had no money invested on his side of things, so it is what it is. But as I look at I almost said Cutter Crawford. He's next to him here in my model. That's weird to say, but basically you look at Bobby Miller. He has all the makings of a guy who should have unbelievable stuff at the big league level. He's a 42% usage on the fastball. The fastball velo sitting at 97.5, 98 on the season. He throws it hard. He has great off-speed stuff when it's located, but this season, it's dropped off 3% in K rate to 20.7%, and his hard hit up from 37.6% last season to 48% this season. It's resulted in nearly a 7.5 ERA, a 6.5 expected ERA. Across the board, you get a starting pitcher out here like this, and the Dodgers keep rolling him out because they obviously believe in the stuff. Sometimes you just don't got it, and Baltimore is one of those teams that I know they've been struggling against righties recently, but I got to be invested in them. And Cade Povich, not somebody that I'm typically looking to back at any type of numbers, with a 10.5% barrel percentage, 15% K rate against the Dodgers lineup that brings a lot of ammunition to the kitchen. But Cade Povich, he's a 24-year-old soft-tossing lefty. He can limit the hard hit, 328 xwOBA to go with it, throws a smattering of garbage trash. This really is a play on the price. Plus 140, plus 138. Really good stuff for you here. I like the Baltimore money line to round out your card for Thursday. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Check out Bet365 down below. Let me know your favorite plays on the slate. Let me know how Wednesday went. Let me know all of the things. That's pretty much all I got for you right now. And then, of course, Lindy50, if you guys want to sign up for that Discord, come join me. Come hang out. We'll be talking through the plays here. Yeah, that's really all I got for you on Thursday. Thank you, producer Jacob. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.